Hello, I'm Azai. Welcome back to Aokana. So I booted up the game and surprisingly it booted up the opening once again. Of course I skipped it because we've already seen it. Like I said, I don't want to pay too close of an attention to what happens on the opening movie. But yeah, I just came back from the gym, took a shower and haven't eaten anything, so by the time I'm done with recording this episode, I'll probably be very famished. So I haven't really been eating, a lot of snacks lately. A lot of the, food that I've been eating is just so oily. Like, it's crazy. I think I told you guys I was eating A&W for the past couple of weeks now. But I think that's a bad habit. I've been eating so much junk food that highly palatable food or oily foods in general just makes me keep craving them more and more. I need to eat my veggies more, so I haven't really been eating those. So yeah, just trying to get back on track to what I usually eat. Gonna buy some more broccoli, some more chapchai. I don't know if you guys know what that is, but it's like a Chinese dish where you not stir fry I guess, but you saute a lot of veggies and then put in some meat sometimes or tofu. And yeah, it's really delicious. Good way to eat veggies in my opinion. But okay, let me do an episode recap. You guys are probably tired about me being a health geek. So in the last episode, we are trying to teach Asuka how to fly. She's still not very good at it. And we met Misaki, and then Mashiro, and what's the last girl's name? Ichinose something, right? Ichinose something. I'm still gotta try to remember what their names are. But yeah, we saw Ichinose changing, and she she thought that we didn't care about it because we were trying to teach our girlfriend how to fly. And I think that was the last scene that we did. Right. So without further ado, let's just continue the visual novel, shall we? You okay? But yeah, I do enjoy the sprite work in this game. Even the tiny details, just seeing the girls flying like this makes it so much more engaging than just seeing the girls usually on the standard visual novel they'd just be doing their thing, right? So this is kind of cool, even though technically this is just them angled the sprite, right? Since yesterday's training session ended in failure, I went ahead and decided to take a long distance trip today. This trip consists of circling Kunahama Island, a pretty standard basic course. And I'm letting Kurashina-san fly by herself instead of using paired flight. So yeah, I kinda compared the flying in this game to figure skating, and I think that actually makes a lot more sense because the competition probably focuses more on how beautiful you fly, not how fast you fly. Because I was trying to compare it to cycling, right, on the last episode, and in cycling, I think you don't really care too much about how beautiful someone pedals their bike. As long as you're fast, I think you're good to go. When I see someone that's sprinting super quickly, or someone that is climbing a mountain really quickly with their bike, I'd be like, damn, that's impressive. So I could kind of see if Masaya was impressed by Ichinose's beautiful flying, if that was one of the criteria to score the competition. But enough about that. Sorry, I'm being a geek again. Let me know right away if you start having problems. I'll give you time to collect yourself. Her slightly wobbly flight brings a wry smile to my face. But when I compare it to the first day, she's definitely improved, I think. Has she? After flying around for a while, we decided to take a break on a beach we spotted earlier. Here, take this. I hand Kurashina-san a soft drink I bought.
すみません。いくらですか？
It's fine. Think of it as a reward for flying properly today.
それはダブルで嬉しいですね。ありがとうございます。
I don't know who voices Asuka, but I really like her voice. I don't know who the VA for this girl is, but I really like it. Kurashina-san immediately opens the lid and savors the drink I got her. I sit down next to her and gaze at the scenery in front of me as I down the drink I got for myself. I haven't flown anywhere other than school in a long time. To be honest, I don't have very fond memories of flying, but I actually enjoyed it today. I'm surprised.
ほらほら、ひなたさん。あれ見えますか？向こうの山のところ。あれ、灯台か何かでしょうか？
Huh? Where?
あそこです。私の指さしてる向こうの方。水面がキラキラしてて、ちょっとわかりにくいかもしれませんが、頑張って見てください。
What did she say was there? A lighthouse? I guess it's all thanks to this eternally joyful girl. Hey, Kurashina-san.
やっぱり見えにくいって。今私のこと呼びました？
Yeah, I did. Looks like she doesn't notice what's going on around her once she focuses on something.
何ですか？
Well, just thought that you seem to be enjoying yourself.
楽しそう？
Yup, you've looked happy all day.
はい。
Oh, that's it? I thought she was gonna say more. She makes a bit of a surprised expression. Gotta admit, that has me a little curious. Kurashina-san looks to the side and touches her cheek with her index finger as she speaks.
ですね。ちょっと理由あるんです、これ。
And that is?
教えてもらったんです、昔に。今からだと想像つかないかもですが、私昔は引っ込み思案でうちにこもりがちな子だったんです。
Yeah, definitely can't imagine that.
だと思うでしょうけど、小さい時は今と違うことだってあるじゃないですか。
Not wrong? Kurashina-san says sullenly, puffing up her cheeks all the while.
話戻します。おとなしくてか弱い一人の女の子がいましたって話でしたよね。
You sure you should be talking to yourself like that? Well, you definitely just made yourself seem a whole lot more pitiful there.
イメージですって。なんとなくそういう子がいるのを想像してください。
Okay, got it. I let loose a knowing smile and do as she says. It's pretty cliche, but I picture a girl with a white one-piece dress and straw hat standing in a meadow. Damn, that's way too cliche. It's too embarrassing to mention to others even. Still, what can I do if that's what comes to mind?
で、この子はさっきも言った通り、引っ込み思案で誰にも話しかけられないんです。
Okay, and?
その時、さっそうと現れた同じ年ぐらいの人物が一人、私に近づいてきて言ったんです。俺と遊ぼうぜって。
Oh wow, so Prince showed up on his white horse. That'd be even more cliche than what I imagined.
って思うでしょ。ところが
There's more to it?
あるんですよ。実はその王子様は女の子だったんですね、これが。
Oh, too bad.
一人称があれで声もちょっとハスキーだったんですが、髪が長くて顔も綺麗で見事に女の子でした。
Okay. I thought she was gonna be the, like, childhood friend, but maybe not? I see. Too bad you didn't get a real prince. So this must be the rival that dethroned us when we were a kid, right? So she's childhood friend with the rival instead of us. Who's the girl that we liked then, back as a kid? Might be Chinose, but we'll see. Actually, I feel a bit relieved. Naturally, I keep that to myself. I mean, I don't want her to think I'm into her or anything. And? Well, what happened next?
そうでした。私の昔のときめき話で完結するとこでした。
Well, if you want to end it right there, that's fine by me.
いけません。ここからが大事です。さっきのは第一部完みたいなものです。
Breathing heavy with excitement, she goes on.
では第二部いきます。ですね、その王子様、王女様を前にしても、この子はなかなか心を開けなかったんです。
That's one tightly sealed heart.
それはもう何年もかけて仕込んだ引っ込み思案ですから、外に引っ張り出すにも力が必要です。で、そんな子に対して王女様は言ったんです。
And what'd she say?
ずっと楽しいと思っていれば、世の中は本当に楽しいぞって。
I mean, that's a form of self-hypnosis, you know, or I guess self-suggestion. But there's nothing truly wrong with that, as long as you don't abuse it to make yourself, you know, become delusional. What?
これまで引っ込んでいたのなら、これから倍の時間、楽しいことが待ってるって。 それで私、それ以来、何でも楽しいと思えるようになったんです。
Damn, you're pretty easy to manipulate, Asuka. That princess said some interesting things.
ですよね。人生における格言です。
Okay, that's probably going a bit too far. Still, I understand that a defining experience in your childhood can shape your life. In my case, that worked in a negative way, though.
あ、でも飛ぶことについては別にその思想は抜きにして本当楽しいです。
I think what this game is trying to tell is that, you know, Messiah gave up a bit too easily on his dreams as a kid. And, you know, like, I can kind of understand he doesn't want to do something when he was a kid and then he got, like, beat up. But he probably still enjoys flying and all that stuff. I don't know. You seemed pretty scared earlier.
その辺も入れてです。日向さんがついていてくれたので怖かったけど安心でした。
Kurashina-san smiles sweetly. You're welcome? My face starts to burn out of embarrassment, so I take a big gulp of my drink.
なんだか結局この3日間ずっと日向さんに頼りきりでしたね。
I kinda like this sort of girl though, like, she doesn't really hide anything and just says what's on her mind. These days, it's very difficult for you to find someone that would compliment you on just regular stuff that you'd be doing, right? Like when you help someone, you kinda even rarely find them actually thank you after you help them. So, I kinda appreciate people like her. You sure about that?
そうですよ。全く飛べない私に一応飛べるようになるまで教えてくれて本当感謝してます。
Kurashina-san directs a quick bow at me like she always does.
日向さんはどうしてこんなに親身になって私に飛び方を教えてくれたんですか？
I mean, it's probably because he likes flying. That's because... in response to her question, I reply... because I want you to know how to fly, because Miss Kagami asked me to. I think I'm gonna go answer the first one, but I will of course save. Because I want you to know how to fly.
私にですか？
Yeah, it'll allow you to go to all sorts of places. Plus, you'll need it to live your life on this island.
そうだったんですね。
When it comes to flying, there are certain things I can't put behind me. However, that has nothing to do with Kurashina-san. That's why I'm glad she's enjoying flying already.
ありがとうございます、コーチ。
Man, I just can't get used to you calling me that.
それにしてもグラッシュって面白いですね。こん な簡単な操作で自由に飛べるなんて。
Well, it is a fantasy world over here, Asuka. Yeah, the person who invented them is a genius. I don't think this game is gonna go like super sci-fi, so probably the whole Graviton Shoes thing is gonna be mostly a fantasy thing. They will probably won't go into too much detail about it, about how it works anyway. Freely soaring through the sky, that's something one could only dream of previously, but now it's just another part of our world. I've grown used to it by now, but honestly, the absurdity of it still amazes me. That's right, life with graph shoes is like something out of a fantasy world, but it's actually real. It's always been like that. I've been remembering them a lot over the past 3 days. I can't help but recall the days when I was soaring through the sky and cutting through the wind. Back then, I was certain I was flying to heights yet unknown.
これだけ便利ならいろいろできそうですよね。そう、例えば。
Honestly, it may only be natural that things are moving in this direction. Try as I might to avoid it, this would have eventually come up in one of our practice sessions.
暮らしを使ったスポーツとか楽しそうですよね。
Ah. I almost dropped the bottle I'm holding. Luckily, I hurriedly squeezed the bottle before agreeing in a slightly hoarse voice. Yeah, you're probably right.
ですよね。絶対楽しいですよ。
Figured it'd come to this. I mean, she wouldn't have said what she did earlier otherwise. Miss Kagami, are you scheming something? I'm talking about the whole flying instructor thing. Figured you have some specific reason to make me teach Kurashina-san. Aoi-san suddenly forms her usual grin.
どうしてそう思った？
Well, I can see some similarities.
誰と誰が？
I realize she's trying to make me talk, but I also know there's no point beating around the bush. Between Kurashina-san and me. Her grin changes to a lonely smile.
懐かしいと思ったのはお前だけじゃなかったってことだ。
Aoi-san pokes the mug on the table, then proceeds to run her finger along the rim. Though she's looking in my direction, it doesn't seem like she's staring at me.
まさや、私はね、10年、いや、20年に一人の選手をそんなにすぐには諦めきれないんだ。
She's saying once in a 10-year talent, or, 20 years, when she corrected herself there. I don't want to talk about that again.
いや、残念ながらいつだってするさ。お前がそのあまりある才能を持ち続け、空を飛び続ける限りはね。
I mean, I agree with Aoi here. Sometimes what you need is just a little push to shove you in the right direction. Before I know it, she isn't smiling anymore.
無理やり押し付けようとは思ってない。だけど、これだけは言っておく。日向雅也を私は待っている。今もずっとね。
Then, silence reigns once more. I doubt it lasted longer than 10 seconds, but to me, it felt like an eternity. I'll be taking my leave now. It's almost time for me to start coaching.
コーチか。その響きも懐かしいな。
Excuse me.
日向さん、日向さん。
Ah, sorry.
もう急に黙り込んだりするから何なのかと思っちゃいましたよ。
Kurashina-san expresses her anger like a child throwing a tantrum as she puffs up her cheeks.
何か私変なこととか言っちゃいましたか？
No, not at all.
よかった。ひょっとしたら何か気まずくなることでも言っちゃったかと思ってドキドキしちゃいました。
She smiles cheerfully. Sorry, I'm lying to you. I apologize her in my mind. I mean, my personal problems have nothing to do with her. That trauma is mine alone. I can't get her involved in it. Alright, I guess it's about time to head back. The sun is setting, which means twilight is fast approaching. It'll be a lot more difficult to fly back without guide lights soon. This is a surprisingly pretty fast day. However, that somewhat wistful atmosphere is torn apart by... Who the hell is this now? The hell? A loud laugh fills the air. What was that? I direct my eyes over to where Kurashina-san points. And as I look over, I spot a guy and a girl who seem to be in the middle of an argument on the beach. Huh? Seriously? I hurriedly follow Kurashina-san, who runs off toward them without skipping a beat. Who? So I know that there are after stories for this game, or like, I guess call them DLC, right? There's an excess story 1 and 2 for this game, but I don't know what that entails. Maybe that actually puts some story for this girl, because I know the only main heroines for this game is like the 4 girls that I mentioned: Ichinose, Asuka, Misaki, and Mashiro. So I have no idea who this is. This is like the first time I even saw her design. A strange scene unfolds before us. There's a pretty girl with blonde hair and a muscular guy on his knees who's prostrating himself before her. The girl called herself Satoin. No idea what characters her name is written with, but is she a foreigner? I don't know the name of the guy. Only thing I can tell from this distance is that he's jacked. The two of us are watching the situation unfold from bushes that are about 10 meters away from them. So I guess we're not in the beach anymore. I'm surprised that's the first thing that came to your mind. I return my gaze to them just in time to see Satoin-san start to speak. Seems like the brawny guy is Shion. Both of them have pretty unusual names. So they're probably dueling something. Asuka was right, but I don't think it's going to be the flying thing, right? Oh, okay. Now I get it. I finally realize what's going on as I listen in on their conversation. Hmm? Yeah, they were actually... Right as I'm about to answer Kurashina-san, I get interrupted by the girl who called herself Satoin. Flying circus. It's a world-renowned sport that makes use of graph shoes. Really? It's called flying circus? And it just so happens to be the most popular sport here in Shito City. But above all else, Kurashina-san repeats the name of the sport hesitantly. I still don't know how the flying thing works, so... How does flying circus work? Do you still need to use a terminal before you go to... like, do the competition or something? The reason why I thought that they weren't doing the competition, or you know, some sort of flying duel, is because we don't really say anything about a terminal being here, right? That's your biggest takeaway? What's the big deal with the in suffix anyway? Why is she talking it up so much? I don't get it. Oh, sorry about that. I had to adjust my armrest there.
10連敗までは待って差し上げたのよ。今日からは因を失ったクナハマ学と名乗り、敗戦をかみしめて生きていくといいわ。
I don't get it. What is she trying to say?
そんな中途半端な名前を背負っていくのは我慢ならない。
I think this is something that's actually lost in translation. Yeah, I know that it can't be called institute because the in is gone, but there must be something there that's lost in translation. What's the in for the academy?
3年生にもなって惨めですわね、シオンさん。
I don't exactly get what's going on, but it seems like that Shion person is from our school? And since she said he's a senior, that also means he's a year older than me. Well, I have literally no idea what all this stuff about losing the last 2 letters of our school name means, though. I want to help him, but does it have to be FC of all things? I'm at a loss. Should I step in? Huh? Kurashina-san suddenly stands up and yells at the haughty girl as I hesitate.
誰よ。
He's not gonna say Nani? The sudden appearance of a new challenger has both Satoin-san and Shion-san surprised.
ですね。
I think I saw the guy there on the opening, so he's probably gonna be quite important, I guess? A cheerful smile that doesn't fit the situation at all forms on Kurashina-san's face as she speaks.
さっき船浜学院で誰もってことでしたので、ちょっと学生として手を挙げようかなって思った次第なんですが、どうなんでしょう。
So there's actually an effect. I forgot what the effect is called. Is it the Doppler effect or something Kruger effect, right? Where if you... you're actually not really that good at what you're doing, so you're so full of yourself that you feel overconfident and you kind of try to challenge things that's way above your level. Dono Kruger effect or something, right? And that perfectly fits what she's doing right now. She can't be serious. What are you thinking, Kurashina-san?
とんだ挑戦者がいたものね。いいわ。そうまで言うなら、手合わせしてあなたが勝ったら、この陰の字を返して差し上げるわ。試合していただけるんですか?
Surprisingly, Satoin-san appears to be willing to take her up on her offer. Hold on! There's no way this will work!
それであなたはフライングサーカスの経験者なのかしら? いいえ、さっき知ったばかりです。え？クラッシュ履いて一人で飛んだのも昨日が初めてです。ふざけるのもいい加減にしてくれない？あなた、私を誰だと思ってるのよ。
Damn you, Ojo-sama archetype. Great, now she's pissed. I knew this would happen. Someone who has next to no experience flying can't possibly face a Skywalker who's equipped with FC graph shoes. I'll apologize on her behalf. Please forget she ever...
仕方ないわね。じゃあ教えてあげるわよ。
Huh? Yeah, exactly. Huh? You're still going through with it?
ありがとうございます。
God, is everyone in this game a busybody? I assume Kurashina-san's lack of experience meant her challenge was going nowhere, but boy was I wrong.
なぜ私がこんなことを?
She pulls a whiteboard out of God knows where, then begins her lecture. So fucking anime.
フライングサーカスは通常ならば V に囲まれた一面300メートル四方の会場で行われるわ。
Okay, time limit 10 minutes. 4 boys in a square over the sea. Player B, player A. Okay. So, kind of like, baseball?
1対1で争われて10分の制限時間内により多くの得点を集めた方が勝ちよ。
So, what's the thing about being beautiful then? So, do we just really go fast?
得点の方法は2つ。相手の背に触れるか、もしくは4つの部位を順番にタッチしていくか。
Okay.
なんだけど、 今日はあなたのことに考えて部位は2つ、時間は5分にしておくわ。
Okay.
以上よ。何か質問はあるかしら？別に何だって聞いていいのよ。なぜなら私は大丈夫です。わかりました。
I don't think she said it's an extremely complicated. It's like she's trying to be pompous about herself. You can ask me anything because I am is what she said in Japanese.
本当にわかったの？私だって理解するのに半年かかったのに。
It took you half a year to understand that? What the fuck? You can learn that in like what? 2 minutes. Satoin-san continues to grumble, but eventually lets up and speaks properly.
じゃあ5分後に試合を始めるわ。それまでに準備を済ませていらっしゃい。
So if the flight path is actually just in a straight line, that seems pretty simple. I can't believe this is happening. I checked Kurashina-san. Oh, then again, it's like, you know, a square, right? When she was using the real diagram. Maybe on a higher difficulty, like competition, it would be more than a square. Maybe like a trapezium. Am I saying that correctly? Trapezium? Or is it trapezium? I don't know. English is hard. I check Kurashina-san's shoes and adjust them for FC use. However, there's already a massive handicap in place since she's using normal shoes instead of FC ones.
すまない。君たちを巻き込んでしまって。
Shion-san has been apologizing to us over and over the entire time.
いいですよ。話を聞いて私もやってみたかったですし。
Kurashina-san, in contrast, doesn't really seem nervous at all. In fact, she's so relaxed that she comes off confident. How are you planning on beating her? Maybe she's got some amazing plan in mind.
わかりません。
Seriously? You've got no plan? I only now realize that she's not actually confident at all. It's just that she has no reason to feel fear. Guess I have no choice then. I'll try to guide you as well as I can, so just do as I say.
あ、もしかして日向さんってフライングサーカスの経験者なんですか？
Maybe a little.
指示を出すのならこれを使うといい。
Shion-san hands me a pair of headsets that are designed for FC matches. With these, it's possible for the player to communicate with someone on the sidelines.
シューズはサイズが合わないけど、これならなんとかなるかと。
Thanks. These'll come in handy. I immediately attach one of them to my ear, then put the other one on Kurashina-san. Listen up. Here's the plan.
本当に呆れますわね。まさかシューズすら普通の通学用とは。なんとかこれで頑張りますから。
So they didn't tell us what the difference is between the FC shoes and non-FC shoes.
まあいいわ。手加減はしませんわよ。それじゃあシオンさん、あなたは審判をやってくださるかしら。
わかった。
先ほども申しました通り、制限時間は5分。その間により多くの得点を取った方が勝利ですわ。勝負は正々堂々と行いますわよ。陰の名に恥じぬよう戦っていただけますわね。はい。では参りますわ。
With that, Satoin-san flies off ahead of Kurashina-san.
あれ、先に行っちゃいましたよ。フライングですか？それとも敵前逃亡ですか？
I forgot to mention that you started the first boy.
空中からスタートするんですね。じゃあ私も行ってきます。フライ。
Am I saying boy correctly? I hope I am. I have a feeling it's gonna be said quite a lot in this game. Be careful. Don't push yourself too hard.
スタート位置はここで合ってますか？
Wow, suddenly epic music is playing.
本当に素人ですのね。それで合ってますわよ。
After confirming that they're in position on the left and right side of the first buoy, it's time to begin.
では試合を始めます。
So, who set up these buoy things? Both of them dash forward as soon as they hear the whistle.
ちょっと
Well, not really both of them. Kurashina-san's start is way too slow to group them together.
何をなさっているのです？
Satoin-san, on the other hand, assumes a beautiful flying form, effectively reducing air resistance the moment she launches. Okay, I can understand being, you know, aerodynamic because that's also very important in cycling. I wouldn't say the form is beautiful though when it comes to cycling. You just go very, very low. You drop that stem, go super low with your body.
よし、いただきました。
ポイント佐藤院
She easily outruns Kurashina-san and successfully touches the second boy. She's good. Seems she isn't all talk. Impressive. Her form is extremely beautiful. She isn't using any of the finer techniques, but seeing how fast and stable her flight is, I can tell she's quite an advanced Skywalker. What's more, it's obvious she's going easy on Kurashina-san. Man, Kurashina-san's got no chance.
それでは次、行かせていただきますわ。
Satoin-san quickly levels out and advances in the direction of the first boy. Naturally, Kurashina-san is in her way, but she's just floating in place, flustered and unsure what to do.
ひなたさん、どうしたらいいでしょうか。
I hear Kurashina-san's voice through the headset. Stay calm. First, block your opponent's path.
どうやって？
Spread out your arms and ready your legs to move both left or right. Basically, try to act like a goalie in soccer.
こうですか？
Kurashina-san's stance has changed. Right. You then apply pressure to your opponent as you...
そんなガードに止められると思ってるの？来ました。
Perform a feint and go for her ear. Right as Satoin-san passes her, Kurashina-san desperately moves her body, turning sideways and tries to touch her back. Unfortunately,
ダメでした。
Satoin-san easily slips past Kurashina-san's hand. I guess it was naive to think that would work.
そんな。
After that, Satoin-san effortlessly touches the first boy.
ポイント佐藤院
私に盾つくぐらいだからよほどの腕かと思いましたが、所詮は敵ではなかったようですわね。
Satoin-san laughs loudly. And sure enough, the match continued to play out in a completely one-sided fashion with her on the offensive.
また抜かれた。
So I guess it's a point whenever you touch a boy. I thought it would be after you touch all 4 boys or 2 boys, that's 1 point. But I guess not. Next thing I know, there's only 1 minute left and Satoin-san has 9 points.
さあ、それでは10ポイント目いただきますわよ。
How far is the first boy to the second boy though? How many meters is it? They actually didn't say that, so... I'm a nerd, okay? So I kinda want to actually know how far each of the boys are positioned.
コーチ。
When I look up at the sky, all I see is a triumphant noblewoman standing before an almost crying Kurashina-san. Time out! Time out!
タイムなんてルールは聞いたことありませんわよ。
In Shogi, Go and Othello, beginners can take some time to consider their next move, right?
そう言われればそうですね。
What an understanding person. Kurashina-san, come down.
はい。
We have no choice. Let's give the thing I mentioned earlier a try.
でもまだ私満足に飛べないのにあんなことできるんでしょうか。
You're not going to score a single point at this rate.
それは
Does that not frustrate you? Honestly, it's probably a bit mean to put it like that. But this is an all too familiar exchange to me. Though back then, the people involved were all different. And because of that, I still remember what he said at that time.
完封嫌です。せめて一矢報いたいです。
He's probably talking about himself. Good. That's why I deliberately provoked her.
ほらほら、どうしたのかしら。もう降参でもいいのですわよ。
Elated, Kurashina-san points at Satoin-san, who is waiting up in the sky with absolute composure.
絶対に1ポイント取ってみせます。そういう負けん気の強い子は嫌いじゃないですよ。うちの可愛い1年生です。
Satoin-san makes her hair flutter as she shouts out a response.
いいわ、かかっていらっしゃい。返り討ちにしてあなたの命もいただくわよ。
I'm not sure if her uniform is the same as Ichinose. Guess we'll see. They prepare to resume their battle.
では残り50秒から再開します。
She'll probably only get one chance. If she lets it slip, time will run out and she'll lose without scoring a single point. Just one. There's only one chance.
試合再開。
さあ、一気に行くわよ。
I mean, the best chance that she can get is actually to ignore Satoin and go for the buoy. I don't believe that she's able to touch Satoin's rear at all. Satoin-san makes her move right as the ref blows the whistle. Alright, go for it! Hey, what you doing? Kurashina-san stretches out her hands and legs upon hearing my signal, then turns face up and climbs about 10 meters. Eventually, she floats high above Satoin-san, morphing her body into a crescent shape.
あら、私の凱旋にアーチでも作ってくださる気ですか？
Satoin-san unconcernedly continues her flight and is about to pass under the arc Kurashina-san has drawn. Perfect! Go now! The exact moment Satoin-san's body goes under the arc. Wow, really? So she's actually attacking? Kurashina-san's body straightens out and starts to descend.
罠だって言うの？
Nice! She fell for it! Satoin-san had only been evading attacks from the side this entire time. From that, I deduced that she might be weak against vertical attacks. I also figured she would be overconfident due to her enormous lead, making her careless.
背中いただきます。
And most importantly, climbs and descents are a lot easier for beginners.
避けにくいところ。
Satoin-san's movements are as sloppy as I expected. Kurashina-san's hand is rapidly approaching her back.
やるわね。でも
Satoin-san instantly twists her body, trying to evade the attack that was fast approaching from above. And a mere moment before Kurashina-san's hand reaches her back. Damn! She dodged! Kurashina-san's hand cuts through empty air, and Satoin-san speeds off as if to mock her opponent. I guess this is it. Satoin-san keeps her altitude consistent as she straightens out her form. Kurashina-san, on the other hand, is rushing toward the water due to all that built-up momentum. No! I inadvertently close my eyes. However, no matter how long I wait, I just don't hear the loud splashing sound of water. Instead, an intense electrical whir resounds. Huh? Upon opening my eyes... What the hell? Huh? I'm greeted by an unbelievable sight. Satoin-san had definitely dodged the attack. And I even saw Kurashina-san diving headfirst toward the water. But somehow, she started to climb again and... With those miraculous movements, she managed to tag the back that had escaped her moments ago. Oh, I thought that was me. I was actually gonna say Bakana. I thought that was actually Messiah. As for the girl who pulled that off,
あれれ
doesn't look like it's hit her yet.
私ポイント取れちゃった。
She's gazing down at her own hand with a puzzled look on her face. And while everyone, including Kurashina-san herself, is dumbfounded,
おおすごいすごいぞエアキックターンとか何年ぶりだ
Shion-san alone roars out with joy. Why did you fucking close your eyes, damn it, Messiah? I wanted to actually see that. How did she do it? An air kick turn. I see. It's a flying circus technique that requires a very high level of skill and, above all, exceptional physical abilities. It's an advanced technique that allows an individual to explosively kick off the air to quickly change directions. And this girl, who just started flying by herself yesterday, managed to pull it off. I guess similar to like the cornering technique in cycling, or you know, during like figure skating. I guess it's like when you're doing a U-turn or whatever you call it. I'm not very familiar with figure skating. Unreal.
まさかこの私がポイントをしかもあんな昨日今日始めたばかりの女の子に
She's not gonna say the how shameful in Japanese. Satoin-san is putting on a show for everyone to see. Seems she's not even trying to hide her shock. She's fallen to her knees and is covering her face with both of her hands. I actually did not. The other girl, on the other hand, is almost bouncing with joy. Yeah, I did. That was amazing.
私初めてだったのにポイント取れちゃいました
That is pretty amazing. I mean, she wasn't even using FC shoes, and she only just learned the rules. Plus, she's got no real flying experience at all. Still, despite all of that, she managed to score a point in a match. That's just insane. Well, that's exactly why. I turned towards Satoin-san. The shock must be pretty bad.
まだまだ練習が足りなかったということなの
Yup, she seems really depressed. I approach her to cheer her up some.
佐藤院さん
But Kurashina-san steps forward and beats me to it.
何よこれ以上私を愚弄する気な
In front of a flinching Satoin-san, Kurashina-san assumes an upright position like a soldier standing at attention.
フライングサーカス教えてくださってありがとうございました
Then, she bends her hips 90 degrees as she bows to her. Man, is there actually anyone that would be able to hate on Asuka's personality? Feels kind of hard to find someone that would hate this girl.
普通なら無視されても仕方ないぐらいの無礼な行動なのに佐藤院さんはとても丁寧にルールややり方を教えてくださいましたこのスポーツとっても楽しかったですこれからも頑張りますのでよろしくお願いします
Wow. She couldn't have put it better. I was worried about what she might say, but that was pointless.
ずいぶん謙虚じゃないじゃあ約束通り陰の字は返して差し上げるわでもこれで負けたわけじゃないんですのよ必ずまた私と戦いなさいよねはいそれはもう
Right. Situations like these tend to go best when the competitors talk. I used to know all too well.
見てらっしゃい佐藤院の名にかけて次こそは必ず得点は一つたりとも許さないから
It's not always the best thing to do, but when you're very sportsmanship or sportsmanlike like them, I guess it's not bad.
覚えてなさいよ忘れたら承知しませんからね
After saying all that, Satoin-san turns her back to us and flies off. That girl has a strong heart. Normally, an active player would be stunned by the turn of events. Looks like she's not as weak as a certain other person I know. Man, that girl was really weird.
でもとってもいい人でした
True. Despite how rude we were being, she still courteously explained the rules to Kurashina-san. She's pretending to be all haughty, but is actually super nice. That's what I mean by weird. Alright, I guess it's time for the two of us to head... Whoa! When I turned toward Kurashina-san, I noticed a giant shadow rapidly approaching me. Damn, you startled me! The identity of that shadow is... Shion-san, who has been moved to tears by Kurashina-san.
俺は感動した。あんなに見事なエアキックターン、試合でも練習でもそうそうお目にかかれないぞ。
そうなんですか?
You know, she kind of feels like the protagonist at this point because she's the one that's able to do these amazing things. But I feel like I don't want her to just marry Sue anything, you know, or... Like, I guess marry suing is not really the right word. Maybe like Deus Ex Machina thing. There's gotta be an explanation why she can't do that air kick turn, right? Kurashina-san replies, somewhat bewildered. However, Shion-san just nods repeatedly in response. Because the thing is, unlike in other sports, or... Yeah, unlike in... Well, it's not like unlike, but... She doesn't even have the feeling that she's very good at sports, you know? Not a lot of muscles, and she's very new to flying. So I feel my realistic brain cannot want to believe this, or does not want to believe this is happening.
君は飛ぶのは本当に素人だと言っていたね。
はい、日向さんから教えてもらってる途中で、まだまだ全然上手くないんです。
But okay, I'm not gonna like push on that point too much. This is anime after all.
それであの技を繰り出したとは、それはすなわち。
Shion-san bends backward, then shoots his face forward and screams.
天才だ！まさに生まれ持った才能、勘の良さと身体能力、これを生かさないでどうする？君はぜひフライングサーカスをやるべきだ。あとそれと君。
Whoa, me? Great. He's directing his passionate gaze at me now.
君の立てた作戦、そして適切なアドバイス、あれは経験者じゃないとできないと見た。
Yeah.
その素晴らしき頭脳と経験、ぜひ共に戦いたいと俺は思っている。
That sounds dumb. However, Shion-san follows up his proposal with words that become the start of our long journey.
ぜひ船浜学院フライングサーカス部に入部してくれ。
What a pain. After that, Kurashina-san and I are forced to listen to Shion-san's rambling. The sun had already set and darkness ruled over the summer night. I'm standing there on the beach, watching the waves silently come and go. Shion-san's passionate words and the lingering trauma within my heart clash, leaving me lost in thought. I mean, I don't get it. It doesn't seem like Masaya had some sort of injury, right? I can understand that if he has a really big injury after the things that he did in the past, that he would be very traumatic. But it doesn't seem like he has any injuries. Like, when I first started cycling, I actually, I think I already told you guys, but I didn't want to brake on a U-turn, and that left a scar on like one of my eyelids. And yeah, it made me not want to sprint for quite a bit, but now I'm back to sprinting again. You know why? Because I love cycling. I love going fast. So I feel like it's very difficult for you to drop something that you really like. And I feel like Masaya really likes flying, so I don't know why he dropped like this flying circus thing, without any sort of injury. Like what? Did his opponent talk him down after he fails? Or after he lost? Like you're a fucking bitch or something? My vision was filled with blue and white. I guess we'll see, but right now it just feels a bit unbelievable, you know? Because usually people that are really into something, especially people who are competitive, won't be taken down a notch until something severely painful happens. Bright light streamed across my face and back as I was buffeted by the wind. I was counting down inside my head. If I kept flying at that pace, I'd reach my destination in 3 seconds. I'd gone through the motions countless times already, so the right timing had practically been engraved into my body. 3, 2, 1. Now! I hunched forward and curled my knees inward. Then, I used my body like a spring to kick off the air with my legs. I did it! I was riding the wind as I leapt forward. The wind that had been crashing into me previously had become my ally. I started counting again. I had a tailwind now, so 2/3 of the previous figure was enough. And so, I went over the final 3, 2, 1 countdown. I stopped my body instantly, as if I'd reached the spot marked on the map. Though, there was no actual map to speak of, still, I knew I wasn't even a millimeter off. After taking a deep breath, I looked up to find the person I was looking for a short distance away. I flew over to her and looked up at her face.
難度の高いエアキックターンを織り交ぜて強風の中でこのタイムを叩き出すとはな。
じゃあ今ので
She flashed a happy smile in response to my question.
上出来だ。記録更新だよ。
I jumped for joy upon hearing Aoi-san's words. And Aoi-san simply watched me with a smile. It was a smile that never left her face. Was I sleeping during class? The next morning, I guess it was me dreaming. Our classroom is wrapped in an unusual atmosphere.
君ほどの才能に出会ったのは初めてなんだ。ぜひ FC 部で大きく開花させてくれ。
All thanks to Shion-san, of course. I don't know how he found us, but he's here trying to recruit us first thing in the morning.
部員は俺一人しかいないが大丈夫。君と日向がいれば3人になる。
日向さんもですか？
そうだ。日向も入ってくれれば君たちは最強になるはずだ。
Surprising that there's only this guy in the FC team. I thought that this place, this island was supposed to be very popular with graph shoes. But maybe the sports itself is not that popular. He's been like this since yesterday. I need to put a stop to this before it's too late. Shion-san, classes are about to start. Also, it really seems like you're bothering Kurashina-san. I try to cut in on their conversation, but he just ignores me. Isn't there someone else who can stop him? Oh, perfect timing, class rep. You see, this guy's... Aoyagi looks at Shion-san and... Aoyagi? Madoka Aoyagi is her name? Okay.
Oh, Madoka じゃないか。
Your siblings? I mean, your hair color is different, so... Damn you, anime! What an unexpected turn of events. I was under the impression Shion was his last name. Turns out it's his first. Why can't they just leave Nichan in the localization? Come on now.
そうか。じゃあ俺はひとまず戻るが、また来るぞ。二人とも。
He walks out of the classroom after making that unsettling announcement.
そっか、名前聞いてなかったけど、兄
He's already talking about us at home?
久々にテンション上がりまくってた。うわ、先生来たからまた後でね。
Sure.
今日もみんな変わりはないみたいだな。それじゃホームルームを始める。
You know, Aoi, you certainly have a bigger knocker. Or, you know, your knockers were bigger during the flashback. Did you get debilitated? Aoi-san goes through homeroom as always. Then, during our break...
まどかちゃんのお兄さんだったんですね。
Yeah, that really took me by surprise too.
名前のイメージとギャップあるし、何より私とあんまし似てないもんね。
Unsurprisingly, the hot topic right now is Aoyagi's older brother.
誰か来てたの？朝？夜？
Just go back to sleep. It's not even lunch break yet.
はーい。
I make the low blood pressure Snoop re-enter the land of slumber. It's better that she doesn't get involved. She'd only complicate things.
でも、どうしてあんなに一生懸命になって勧誘してたんでしょうか。
This must be a pretty easy school if she can just sleep on every, like, lesson.
それはね、うちのフライングサーカス部部員が少なすぎて同好会になっちゃったから。
Oh, I didn't know. I remember hearing about how clubs and circles work at orientation. You need a certain amount of members to start up a club. If you don't have that, or the other member count of an already existing club falls below the requirement, you become a circle. Circles don't get a club room, club advisor, or any funds, so there's not much room to grow after you get stuck with that status.
だから、なんとしてでも自分以外の部員を入れてもう一度部にしたいって思ってるみたいだね。そうなんだ。
I feel bad for him. Still, I have my reasons for not joining.
というわけで決めてくれたか、倉科に日向。
You're very forceful, dude. And I was gonna say, that was a very abrupt change of BGM. He appears before us again like he promised. 30 seconds after classes end for the day, he arrives in our classroom.
先輩たちが辞めてしまい、俺だけになってしまったフライングサーカス部だが、君たちが入ってくれれば最高は十分に可能だ。
So you only... Oh, sorry. I thought he was done. I was gonna say, you only need 3 people to make a circle into a club? Interesting. He's pushing forward energetically. The guy's vigor incarnate. And we're losing ground in the face of that energy.
そうなんですね。では、私もここは一つ真剣に。
I'm surprised that she isn't all gung-ho about just joining straight up. Kurashina-san is shooting glances at me as she answers his question. Guess she's wondering what I'm going to do. I should give him my answer first. I take a deep breath before speaking up. Senpai.
なんだ日向、質問ならいつでも受け付け。
Sorry to say, but I'm not joining your club. Again, sorry about that. I'll be on my way now.
いや、日向？
ひなたさん。
What?
本当に入らないんですか？フライングサーカス部。
Sorry, I just don't feel like it.
でも、ひなたさんはフライングサーカスにすごく詳しいみたいでしたし、飛ぶのも上手だし、佐藤院さんとの試合の時だって。
Kurashina-san tries to reason with me. Sorry. But I simply cut her off and walk away.
ひなたさん。
Later that day, I'm in my bed. I couldn't even work up an appetite. And after a light dinner, I'm just rolling around lazily. The only thought on my mind is what happened earlier today. I went out of my way to choose a school that didn't have an FC club. After mulling over my thoughts for a while, I stood up out of bed. What are you talking about? He clearly said it was an FC club before the senpai all graduated. So there was an FC club. What is this guy talking about? Oh man, things get real dirty if you don't take care of them. I'm greeted by a pile of clutter upon opening a drawer on my shelf. There's a baseball that I've only used as a single time. Also, I can see an outdated handheld gaming device. Why do I still have this stuff? I'm convinced there's some mechanism at work that gathers all the junk you don't care about into one place. Not sure whether to call myself a pack rat or a sloth. I dig through the pile and finally find what I'm looking for. There it is. Then, I pull out a box that I haven't opened in a very long time. And after that, I place it on the table. Guess it's been collecting a lot of dust. I dust off the box a little before opening it. Inside, I find a pure white body with green lines. This was an extremely popular model in the past. I see that there are two things engraved onto them. Aoi-san's autograph and an important pledge. How many years has it been? My flying circus shoes. The performance of graph shoes has gone up since I last competed, making these shoes obsolete. Plus, they're way too small for me now. No, the real reason I can't wear these again is different. Simply staring at them has me feeling depressed. Never thought things would turn out like this. Just tell me the reason, damn it! I'm actually quite frustrated right now because, like I said, if he had any sort of physical injury, it would make a lot more sense, but it doesn't seem like he has any sort of physical injury. And I don't know what else would make him not want to compete anymore, right? If he just lost, I feel like the mentality of you just losing once, twice, or 3 times is not enough to put you down like that so that you don't want to do the sport anymore. Or maybe I like doing this a lot more than Messiah likes flying, but I don't know. I let out a deep sigh before placing the shoes back in the box. Maybe my mindset is just a lot weirder than the average person, maybe. If Senpai shows up again tomorrow, I'll turn him down flat. I'm positive that I'll make him give up. However, I soon came to learn that there was something just as strong, or perhaps even stronger than my resolve. Namely, Senpai's tenacity. See? If you if this guy is easily swayed like this by someone's tenacity, there's clearly something, or there must be, I don't know, it's so weird that he actually gave up on the flying circus thing. If you can actually just be swayed by someone telling you to keep joining, that's what I feel. That was a pretty nice transition screen. Oh boy, here he goes again. Like I said yesterday, I will never change my mind. And now, here I go again. You know what you should be doing if you really don't want to join him up? Be quiet. That's actually the best course of action to someone that, is bugging you way too much. When you're ignoring them, they actually lose motivation. He closes his eyes and lets out a loud groan, but that still isn't enough to deter him. You finally giving up? Huh? So yeah, I feel like Messiah, I don't know what made him give up on the flying circus, but I know for a fact that his resolve in giving up is actually garbage. That's what I feel like, and I have some issues with that.
俺の情熱を試しているということだな。確かにそうだ。一度や二度ぐらいで揺らぐと思っていた俺が甘かったんだ。
Aoyagi-senpai nods fiercely.
分かった。君のその挑戦、受けて立とうじゃないか。この青柳シオン、3個でも9個でも礼を尽くそう。
Listen, senpai, you've got this all wrong. I never said anything of the sort.
ではまた来週も来るぞ。俺の情熱受け止めてくれ。
Senpai storms out of the classroom without listening to me at all. Gee, thanks for listening. And then, from that day on, he started taking extreme measures.
頼む入部してくれないか
No!
この通りだ土下座でも何でもする
Hey! Don't start doing that now! There are people watching!
なんなら君が部長でもいいから俺は甘んじて平部員になろうじゃないか
I've never even asked for that. Look, just stop flying after me, alright?
一体何が望みなんだ金かそれとも地位か
Why is it in my house? This is actually kinda creepy though. The only thing I want is for you to leave me alone. And don't you dare come to my house on the weekend. This guy's nuts. And so, after a week of him more than living up to his as many times as it takes promise, I find myself completely exhausted.
ほーらマシロ私のことが好きだったら頑張って捕まえてごらんなさい美咲先輩は大好きなのに私が飛ぶの下手なせいで捕まえられないこの切ない状況
It's next Monday. After somehow shaking off Aoyagi-senpai's assault, I start Kurashina-san's flying lesson. This has become a part of my daily routine by this point. Not gonna say the last huh? Kurashina-san has been getting better this entire time. But she's still nowhere near good enough to pull off the technique she used during that match with Satoin-san. Hell, I'd hesitate to even call her flight stable at this point. I'd love to see that again. I hurriedly shake my head as those words leave my mouth. What the hell am I saying? I've been thinking about flying circus a lot more often lately because of Senpai. Still haven't changed my mind though. I'll never join his club. It's just hard not to think of FC when I'm flying around so much. Yeah, that's all.
戻ってきました
Kurashina-san was tottering a little at the end, but she managed to safely return to me. You did good out there. Seems you finally gotten used to changing directions mid-air. Guess that means it's about time to wrap up your lessons for good.
はい
You should have no trouble getting around. Wish she'd work on her form though. Well, she'll slowly get there as she commutes to school, so I've got no reason to worry. Hey, Misaki!
何
We're done with today's practice.
あーいいちょっと待って
I shout out to my classmate who's just goofing around and relax my mind. It's time to report back to Aoi-san. These lessons are finally coming to an end.
あのひなたさん
Kimi ga iru kara, I think it's because you're here in English. Yeah? Kurashina-san addresses me right as I'm about to inform her of my decision.
やっぱり入部する気はないんですか
Yeah, nothing's changed.
本当に
Kurashina-san keeps pressuring the matter. You heard me talking to Aoyagi-senpai earlier, right?
聞いていましたけどそれでも本心は別なのかもなとか
I agree, Asuka. I very much agree with that. I am. I'm telling you, I don't want to join. Whoa! Kurashina-san suddenly closes her face in on mine before speaking.
本当に入部する気はないんですか
Personal space, girl. Like I said, nothing's changed. I nearly get overwhelmed by her eager spirit, but still manage to keep my composure. Kurashina-san, however, keeps staring at me from up close, and eventually... what made him resolve to not do FC anymore? It can't be from himself. Maybe he made a promise to someone. That's what I'm feeling. Because he clearly still loves, like, flying, like I said.
わかりました。
She quietly mutters those two words before pulling back. Good. She seems a bit down, but I'm sure I'm just imagining that. Maybe I was a bit rude though. Guess I should apologize tomorrow. Unfortunately, right now, I have no way of knowing the true meaning of her actions. Maybe I'll find out the truth tomorrow.
入ります。フライングサーカス部。
For real? I somehow belt that out faster than Aoyagi-senpai.
おおマジか。やったやったぜ。ありがとうクラシナ。
I mean, I always knew that she was gonna join. So that's not really, you know, like surprising for me.
はい部長、よろしくお願いします。
Guess she isn't kidding. That puzzled look on her face must have been her mulling over the decision. Still not sure if she's joining because she actually wants to though. Could just be doing it because I turned him down. Not that it matters. Fact is, she's joined the club now.
よし。では今日から早速部活を開始するぞ。
はい。
They throw very contrived, expectation-laden looks my way. Cut it out! I avert my eyes from their act, get up off my seat and leave the classroom. What's their deal? None of them get how I feel. FC isn't something I want to get back into.
見てたよ。見てました。
And? I obviously know what they're getting at, but I still ask them to elaborate.
なんか楽しげなことに巻き込まれてたけど、あれ何だったの？
How exactly did that look fun to you? Well, considering her unique personality, I guess it would look entertaining to her. It's not the least bit entertaining to me, though.
クラシナ先輩、入部しちゃいましたね。
They look so smug. Ah!
フライングサーカス、実は私もちょっとだけ興味持ってるんだ。そうなんですか？
Wow. Never thought I'd live to see the day you care about something other than food.
そんな嫌味を言ってていいのかな。私も真白もいつまでここにいるかわかんないんだよ。
I think that's gonna be okay. You don't mean you! Misaki pulls a paper out from her breast pocket and waves it in front of me.
はーい真白、この紙の一番上のとこ、ちょっと朗読してみようか。はーい。最初が入、次が部、最後が届けって書いてます。
I see. Nothing worth getting worked up over. They just want to join the FC club.
ねえ、私たちはこれから部活なんだけど、男子の部員が部長しかいないんで、誰かいないかなーって来たわけなんだ。
Everyone in this game is a busybody, man, I swear though.
あれ？こんなところに男子がいますよ、美咲先輩。
Not that I hate them, like, I actually think that their dynamic is really nice.
そうだね。運動神経抜群でスポーツ全般が得意で、きっと彼ならこの部活に向いてるだろうな。
So far, I think the only person I hate in this game is actually the main character. Because he keeps making excuses, man. I'm heading out now.
あらあら。
But I guess we're gonna learn more about Masaya as the game goes on.
いつでも待ってますよ、日向先輩。あら、どうしたの？地面を這うようなレベルで浮かない顔して。
Is it that obvious?
なんかごめんね、兄ちゃんが盛り上がったせいで大変なことになっちゃったみたいで。
You can say that again. But anyway, are you going somewhere? I notice she's holding a gym bag in her hands. Now that I think of it, she seems to be heading in the direction of the school gate.
いや、まあそんなとこ。
Aoyagi's reply is pretty vague. And that somewhere is?
それはほら、私が青柳シオンの妹だった時点でちょっと察してもらえる？
figured.
まあね、部もあと一人で成立するみたいだし、マネージャーでもやろうかなって。
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You need 6. I thought you just need 3 people. So Misaki and Arisaka or Mashiro, I guess, makes it 5, right? And with us, it's gonna be 6. You've got to be kidding me. That means all the people I usually spend time with have joined the FC club.
それとさ、兄ちゃんから頼まれちゃったから一応私も言っておくけど、ひなたくんが入ってくれるの、私からもお願いしておくよ。
Duly noted.
でも来てほしいと思ってるのは私の気持ちでもあるよ。
Why? You serious?
だってメンバー見る限り楽しそうじゃん。楽しそうならやった方がいいよ。
Bound to be fun, huh?
というわけでごめん、兄ちゃんから呼ばれてるからもう行くね。
Later, I see Aoyagi off with that half-hearted reply. There we go. And so, after fending off Senpai's aggressive recruiting tactics, I find myself forsaken by everyone. The next day, something outrageous happens.
それではホームルームを始める。ああ、別に重要なことじゃないが、今日から先生はフライングサーカス同好会の顧問になった。今まで同好会だったが、これであと一人部員が入れば晴れて部になるわけだな。
I think you're abusing your authority by doing this in homeroom.
どうしたマサヤ？今にも私に噛みつきそうな顔して。
Miss Kagami, we need to have a talk in the faculty room later.
それ、普通はこっちが言うセリフだろ。
I can't deny that. Once class is in, I immediately head over to the faculty room to speak with Aoi-san.
来たね。まあ入りなさい。
She doesn't really get flustered or anything and just calmly observes me. Let's cut to the chase. How much of this did you plan out in advance?
穏やかじゃないね。何のことだ？
That unexpected match, Senpai's sudden recruitment drive, and you becoming the club advisor.
何かシナリオでもあったかのようだな。
Miss Kagami,
すべて私の仕業だったとは、さすがにうがちすぎじゃないか？
I feel like, yeah, it's actually a string of coincidence. Other than the fact that, Asuka is put into us. I really doubt that's, Satoin girl. The match that we see is actually, planned in advance. She looks pretty mad about my accusation. I'm sorry. I hurriedly apologize. However, she just smiles in response.
ま、私がマサヤの立場でもそう思うだろうな。事態は偶然にも私の願望通りに進んでいる。
Yeah, probably not all planned, but it did work out in her way. Right?
でも残念ながら、これは本当に偶然だ。お前がこの状況をどう判断するかは自由だが、私が何も噛んでいないことだけは言っておくぞ。
I won't say any of it. Partly. If she had been pulling strings, she would have just admitted it. I only started trusting her because she's such an honest person. Wait, that means this is some work of fate. I don't believe in fate, Messiah. But even so, I still don't.
分かっている。そう簡単に月日が埋められるなら、私だってもっと強引な手に出ているさ。
What is his wounds, damn you? Just tell me straight up. Because right now, I'm actually not seeing any wounds. Aoi-san shrugs as she responds.
ほら、ちょっと見てみなさい。
She points at the window. Outside, I see the Flying Circus Club starting practice. Kurashina-san, Misaki, and Arisaka are standing before Aoyagi-senpai with solemn expressions on their faces. What?
いいから、見てなさい。
I listened to her advice.
ではフライングサーカス部の練習を始める。まずは筋肉をつけるためにウェイトトレーニングだ。
腕 太くなるの嫌だな。
You're not gonna get thick arms if you're just using like 2 to 3 kilos. No need to worry, Misaki.
重いバーベルとか持てないですよ。それも飛ぶ練習に必要なんでしょうか。
I kinda doubt it, but I guess having a good core would probably work in flying. Having a good core is always good in any type of sports.
多分必要だ。おそらくは。詳しくは顧問の先生が来てからにする。
An outsider like me can't really complain, but their first practice session seems to be already a disaster. The president doesn't appear to be confident in his instructions, damn it, which has filled the other members with doubt. Man, that's the wrong approach. They should be doing exercises that help them build up their stamina or improve their reflexes.
その方が身体能力を伸ばすことにもなるし、先々のトレーニングにも役立つ。だよな。
That's what you taught me. Aoi-san nods upon hearing my words.
教えてやってくれないか。
Why don't you do it since you're the club advisor? Huh?
選手でとまでは言わない。だからこれまでのように、コーチ役として彼女たちに教えてやってくれないか。
I have a feeling this is what was going to happen in the story, since you don't really see the CG of Messiah flying, right? Or in the opening, you don't see Messiah flying, it's mostly the girls. That's why I thought that he was going to be a coach. Me? A coach? I will admit that the idea is less stressful than returning as a player. However, I know getting involved with FC will eventually force me to face my demons, whether I want to or not. And I have no interest in digging up old memories.
あの子たちはまだ飛び方すらおぼつかない。
That's it? You're not gonna say anything more?
きちんと飛び方を教えて、楽しく飛ぶことを覚えて、それからじゃないか。その案内役としては、マサヤは適任だと思うんだがな。
What about you? All sorts of emotions swirl around inside my head. My thoughts on the matter are still fairly muddled, but there's also a part that's more clear than before. However, I can't bring myself to say yes right away. I mean, the way I see it, my feelings of wanting to avoid the sky entirely can't just be brushed aside. And so, I'll think about it. I put it off for later. I give Aoi-san, who's gazing at me intently, a non-answer. She doesn't get angry, nor does she smile. Kinda looks like she's smiling to me though. Instead, she simply accepts my words with an understanding look in her eyes. Then, she raises her hand casually. That's when I realize the conversation is over, and I take my leave. I slowly pull the faculty room door open, walk through it, turn around and give her a light bow. And after all that, I quietly close the door. I let the tension escape my body as I lean against a pillar next to the door. I'm finally breathing properly again. Great. Guess this was bound to happen eventually. I had been avoiding the sky as much as possible, doing my best not to even look at it. But now, it seems to be pulling me back to it. I thought that was gonna be into it. That's why I said that sentence weirdly. Almost feels like it's saying, it's been long enough, don't you think? Well, I can't deny that I'm being a big baby. I stare down at my feet. I should be used to seeing my slippers there, but the sight still feels unnatural to me. The wings I obtained as a child have dulled and disappeared. I'm sorry. Pathetic. I don't even know who I'm apologizing to. Upon hearing that voice, I turn toward its owner.
ここにいらっしゃったんですね。
She says happily, seemingly out of breath. I thought you had practice. Why is she here?
はい。でもちょっと用事があって、それで走ってきたんです。
You do? My heart's beating a mile a minute. Yeah, I know exactly what she's going to say.
はい。
She starts to speak as she fixes an unwavering gaze on me. Seems she's worried about how I'll react, but that doesn't seem to be stopping her.
フライングサーカス私に教えてください
Bingo. She couldn't have been more obvious. Or more determined, frankly.
ごめんなさい涼しいお願いでその日向さんにちょっと事情があったのとか理由があったのはなんとなく察したんですけどそれでも私は日向さんにこの競技を教えてもらいたいんです
So, Aoyagi couldn't convince us because he's a guy. But when it's a girl, you're convinced? God damn it, Hinata. Ah, you're making me really think that you're a fuckboy, man. More and more. She hits me dead center with her passionate request. Her assault forces the memories I've been trying to seal away to the front of my mind. Why? Why do you want me, of all people, to teach you? I mean, can't you just get someone else?
それはですね
Kurashina-san flashes me a smile as she responds to my question.
日向さんは私に飛ぶことの楽しさを教えてくれた人だからです
I don't know. I think you already knew that flying was fun by yourself, though.
だからもっともっと楽しく飛ぶためにもっともっと教えてほしいんですそれが理由です
Ah. Because of those words, the slightly ajar door to my memories swings wide open.
お姉ちゃん俺に飛び方教えてよ
教えてるじゃないかこうやって
They don't have the same name, but... Or, I guess when you're a kid, you can call anyone One-chan, right?
そうじゃなくてそのフライングサーカス教えてほしいんだ
へえそれはまたどうして私なんだ
だってお姉ちゃんは俺が飛ぶきっかけになった人だから
Yeah, see? I knew she got a debuff. Those boobs are way bigger on this flashback, right?
なんで笑うの
ごめんごめんマサヤがいきなり真面目ぶった顔で言うからおかしくってな
もう本気なんだよ
分かってるすまなかった
俺それじゃ
ああ飛び方を教えてやるよどこまでも楽しく飛び回れる方法をな
ありがとうお姉ちゃん
He didn't say cool, damn it. I guess they wanted to be way more casual.
じゃあ教えるにあたってまずはとっておきの言葉を教えてやろう
言葉
ああ辛いことがあっても悲しいことがあっても力が湧いてくる言葉だ
すごい教えて
よく聞くんだぞ
Back then, flying was the thing I enjoyed most in the world. That was why I got hooked on a sport that let me take it to the next level. My dream eventually ended up getting shattered, so I ran away from the sky, but I can't keep others from enjoying the fun of it for selfish reasons. I take a few deep breaths as I mull over my thoughts. Then, while looking Kurashina-san in the eye, I respond. Alright, I'll be your coach. The moment she hears my answer,
本当ですか
Kurashina-san's expression lights up and she's positively beaming.
ありがとうございます嬉しいですすごく
Bet she'd be flying around right about now if she had her graph shoes on. That's how happy she looks. Okay, first things first.
なんでしょうかコーチ
Ignore everything Aoyagi-senpai said. His routine's a quick way to turn into a musclehead.
それはちょっと 先生みたいな感じが。
Man, did Aoyagi or Shion never learn anything from the people that graduated? Maybe this is like a slacking off club or something before. Not sure you really want a body like hers, considering... forget I said that. We should hurry over to the others. Kurashino-san moves toward the stairway, ready to head off to practice, then immediately turns back to me.
コーチ。
Hmm? Now facing me again, her long pretty hair goes up as she...
これからよろしくお願いします。
directs a deep bow at me. Same here. We both look at each other and smile. And I'm quite sure the smile I flashed wasn't weighed down by my trauma. No, I know it wasn't. We make a dash for the courtyard. Sunlight filters in through the windows, mixing with shadows from the frames to make crisscross patterns on my face. And on the other side of that glass is an endless blue sky. I take off my slippers, throw them in the locker, then put on my shoes and run over to where the other members have gathered.
今日はこの辺にしておくか。さて、あいつらはどうしてるかな。マサル。そうか。決めたんだな。マサヤ、おかえり。いや、まだ言うべきじゃないか。これからもっと正しくなって叱るべき時が来たら言うことにするよ。なあ、そうだろ。
Wow, that was actually pretty fast.
正式に発足したフライングサーカス部。でも私たちは揃って初心者ばかり。コーチになったマサヤさんはいきなり大変そう。そんな中、私は鏡先生から驚きのものを見せられることに。これってあの人ですか？次回、青の彼方のフォーリズム第2話、空の上のサーカス。彼方の向こうに何かが見える。
Okay, they actually put in like a preview of what the chapter is gonna be. I'm actually impressed. I guess this is a very good stopping point then, but it's not the first episode. This is actually the second episode, Asuka. Next episode is gonna be the third one. But yeah, so far the story is actually alright. Like, I don't mind them building up the FC club and all that. It just feels like there's something with Messiah that doesn't click right with me. If it was an injury, like I said, it would be a lot more... It'll be a lot more, like, logical to see that why he doesn't want to do anything anymore, but it's not an injury. I guess injury in the heart is actually going to be, like, a lot harder to heal, but my mind cannot conjure, like, the sort of situation where you want to give up something that you love so much. Other than a freaking physical trauma. But as I said, I think as time goes on, we'll see what happens to Messiah. And at least he is being honest about actually still enjoying flying and all that. So yeah, hopefully the reveal isn't, like, disappointing. But alright, this is where I'm gonna be ending the episode. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Damn it, what do I usually say during the ending? Give this video a like if you guys like it. Sub if you guys haven't. Patreon will be getting these episodes early access along with everything uncensored. So yeah, I'll see you guys on the next one.